In this video, we're going to be using Sē'bŭm Purple, which you see right there, and the usual suspect for head shaving, the leaf razor. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your IAMCDB. Thanks so much for joining me for this special head shave. Very special because we're using, behold, the Sē'bŭm. The Sē'bŭm, behold, the Sē'bŭm. Very, very pricey shaving soap. It arrived to me in this sample jar. But this is pricey. This sample, which came from Lathering Whiskers, by way of Ken Klitschko Shave 326. This probably cost like $9 to put this soap in here. It's pretty expensive. The prices have changed. I went and looked at the website in advance of making this video, but I think Ken told me the soaps used to be $65 for 7 ounces. And on our price chart right there, you can see it's way off. It's double the pricey amount of $9.28 per ounce. Woo! It's a pricey soap. It's a pricey soap. Now, I have some concerns already because I put a good helping of this sample in my bowl, spread it out, used my normal method of lathering, whereas I put just a little bit of water in it with a mostly dry synthetic brush, and it is not yielding much lather. So that is a concern of mine right out of the gate. I mean, price aside. On the website now, it looks like there was a pre-order available for this $190, yes, almost $200 for the shaving soap and the shave serum. The shave serum is very well regarded. A lot of people seem to love it. I can't speak to it. Again, I don't have it, but it's supposed to have lots of good ingredients and magical and mystical properties for your skin, as does the soap. Obviously, I can't validate all those things. I would give you the ingredients, but it's not on the website. I will show you the notes right here, or at least the description from Sē'bŭm. To me, I'll tell you what this smells like. This smells like those sweet stripe soft mints, and I'll show you a picture of that right there. If you know what those smells like, not the hard candy cane, but those sweet mints, this is what this soap smells like. For me, that's not a winner. It's not bad, but it's not good. There's a little lavender that you can detect, but mostly for me, it's mint, and it's like those candies I just mentioned, which, to me, it's just, I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. No way in the world would I buy this based on scent. It's just not a great scent for me, but at the same time, it's not off-putting. Again, my concern now is the lather. There's just not much happening here. I'm going to add some much water and just sort of show you what's going on here. Typically, what I would do is continue to work this. Well, now it's coming along a little bit, but at first it was really giving me some trouble, but it seems to be getting better now. So maybe it's not a problem at all. At first, it was just not yielding much in the way of lather, so I was really concerned, but it looks like maybe I just have to put a little more English on it there, so to speak. But I will say, what I'm having to do with this soap, and I did spend a few minutes already trying to get it to lather, it's not developing volume like you would get with a normal shaving soap. Now, I will say, this product comes in wonderful packaging. I'll show you a picture right there again of the shaving soap. Really fantastic next level packaging. Everything is meant to be environmentally sound in terms of no plastics or no harmful type things. And the ingredients, I don't know what they are, but on the website it just boasts of being the best for your skin. Again, I can't validate any of that. But I do know this is supposed to be good for your skin. For me, I don't like the struggling that I'm having with lather in terms of volume. It's not an enjoyable experience for me making this lather. It is yielding some, but for the amount of soap that I put in here and given the price of it, no, it's a no. But, I mean, we're going to have to use it and just see how the performance is. But I'm just not getting volume. So it's just, you know, and we're working here trying to get some air into it, trying to get some hydration. And it sort of remains the same. And so hopefully I'll have enough lather in the brush to complete this shave. Because on a volume basis, this is way, way lower than I would get with any other shaving soap. And that might be by design, because in reading his documentation, he was basically like, this stuff is the best for your skin. And essentially, all that other stuff you see in those other soaps are just cheap and not good for you. And so that's sort of the way it is. You know, you go read the website for yourself and make your own judgments. But my take on it was like, everybody else is sort of doing it wrong, I'm doing it right. So obviously that's not going to appeal to some people. I'm getting a little volume. I do have some in the brush, so I'm hoping there's enough in here. But in terms of the lathering experience, I would normally be done, and I would have the effort that I put forth on this, I would have half a bowl of lather. I would have more than enough. And then this, I just have enough around the walls and in the brush, maybe to complete a 2-pass head shave, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll stop and see if we have enough. The lather does look hydrated, and so maybe we'll have enough, maybe we won't. We shall find out. Let's go ahead and mist the dome here and get some misting going, and then we'll just try it and see. Hopefully there will be enough. That's really my chief concern at this point. And if there isn't, given the amount of the sample that I used, I know for a fact that, because you know, you see it here every day, I'll use basically somewhere around a half teaspoon, and I use more of this. And if I don't get enough lather, you're going to know not only it's expensive, but it requires more product. And, you know, so that will add to the expense because you're going to burn through it quicker. And I'll tell you right now, I don't care what miracles this might perform on the skin. It's sort of out of my price range just because I'm not interested in miracles being performed on my skin. My use case is not, you know, and maybe I'll look like I'm 150 when I'm 70. But that's okay. I mean, if it requires me to use again, if you buy this soap, if you buy this set, it's $190, and it says 7/2 when it might be available again. If it requires that for a single product, then I'll just look old when I'm old. That's me. You may not feel that way. You may feel like this sort of investment is something you really feel strongly about, and you really would have to justify the cost of this. We've got enough lather. It does look slick, and it feels slick. So I would say on that basis so far, no problem. But if you read the website, like some of it is, I would almost call it arrogant. Like it's like, my stuff is the best. Everything everybody else does, you know, is substandard. He's not saying that literally, but that's the vibe that you get. You can go read it yourself. Now, if you like this, then wow, that wasn't slick at all. Huh. That's unusual. The residual slickness, I almost got some skipping there, which is very dangerous with the leaf. Wow, Now that's unusual. That's unusual. I'm going to have to actually be very careful to not try to operate on residual slickness in this soap, because in that particular spot, that did not feel slick at all after the visible lather was gone. Now that I've got some lather sort of on the top of the leaf, it's okay, but that was a little bit frightening. I was like, oh boy. Maybe now that I've got it wet and I've got some lather actually on the sort of front of the leaf, I can tell you right now, that residual is not to my liking. Just not. It's that simple. The scent, again, another thing that's not to my liking, and I am very, very concerned about the quality of the shave here. Now, I know we're not talking about skin conditioning. Maybe if I were to wash my head with this and rinse it off, I might be very, very happy with what it does for my skin. But when it comes to the actual shaving, I'm a little, I'm a little bit concerned there. Usually I can get away with this, and I feel like that this is going to skip and cut me, and I don't like that feeling right there once again. I don't know. I am totally not sold in terms of the shave performance. Like, what I need is a barrier on my dome especially. It's very thin skin there. I need slickness. That's what I need primarily. And residual. Residual slickness meaning what remains, the slickness that remains after the visible soap is gone. Whew. That is not impressive at all. Now, let me just say, it could be because I've lathered this poorly. But you've seen me, how many times have you seen me do this? Over 1,600 times. Rarely have you seen me stop and go, ooh, this right there, almost skipping. I am definitely concerned that at least with the leaf, and because of this part of the leaf, it seems like it's almost catching on my skin because the soap. Let's apply some more hydration, maybe. I'm needing something. This is unusual, and honestly, I did not expect it. I was concerned about the lack of volume in the lather, but I did not expect that I might have actual residual slickness problems, because I go over those a lot when I'm doing head shaves. You've seen them. And again, I'm not an inexperienced shaver. And so this is maybe one of the first times I've ever had this problem that I can recall, where that's kind of the thing with soaps today, is they are so good that you can wipe the soap off your skin entirely and shave with it. And I have shaved my face with just water, using a straight razor, but I was being careful. But with the leaf here, where it has that head, this piece right here where it goes, it lays on your head, it was not feeling slick at all after that visible lather is gone. So I want to be very careful not to make a mistake, because the leaf will, it will let you know if you have made a mistake. And I don't need any more scars on my head because I'm trying a soap that, either because of its composition or because of my unfamiliarity with it. See, that felt okay, but I had plenty of water on it. That feels okay. This up here, not so much. But you saw all that water running down my face. Maybe I just need to lay more water to it. I will tell you right now, being very careful, very careful. In all the years I've been doing this, this is the first time that I'm a little bit afraid of, like, I'm afraid that this leaf is going to skip, and I'm going to cut the mess out of myself. But I'm going to continue because I feel like I owed the soap a little more work. And maybe I just need to keep hydrating it. Maybe I'm talking too much and it's drying out. I don't think so. I mean, you can see the moisture, but the volume is definitely nothing that I'm a fan of. The scent is just okay. The price I don't like at all. That said, this is not something that would be in my use case. So please keep in mind, when I'm talking about cost, if you're one of these people, like you use Sē'bŭm, it's number one, it's rehydrating your skin. You're 40 years old and you look like you're 15 because you're using the Sē'bŭm. Good on you. But for me, that is not my use case, nor what I want this to be slick. I want it to give me a good shave. And then I'm going to use post-shave products that I like, that smell nice, and do the things I need to do. And I know that the Sē'bŭm gent, because I've heard before him talking about no one should put alcohol in their skin or astringents or recommending against it. I'm going to do all of that because I don't give a hoot about what anybody says in that regard, because I want to do what's enjoyable. And he's probably giving very sound advice. That said, I'm going to do what I want to do. And the minute that someone tells me that I can't do it, yeah, I'm just going to ignore them. Or if they tell me I'm stupid for doing it, I'm going to also ignore them. And if they say it too much, then I'm definitely going to make an example of them. And I'm going to say, hey, these are not good stewards of our community. At the same time, I think the Sē'bŭm gent, look, I don't like this lather at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is disappointing on every level. It's really frustrating. It's a little on the thin side. When the lather is there, that's very slick. No problem with that, but I was having some trouble. Let's see if I can get a little more out of this maybe. Look, I'm not gonna use the whole sample and use 3 times more soap than I would use normally, because this should have been more than enough. This should have been enough for 3 head shaves, what I used, because it would be with any other soap. This is, I did not expect, honestly, I expected this to be a very good performance-wise. And when I say performance, I just mean the slickness. That feels a lot better. That feels a lot better than the first. But I expected performance-wise this to be a lot better than it is. I don't think, yeah, that feels a little better. Maybe we've got more hydration there. I don't know. Or maybe that's just lubed up a little more, but that was not feeling good at all. And it was a little bit discouraging, to tell you the truth. I was not feeling good about that. Let's see now. Better. Okay. I don't know what was going on with that. I know the lather is thin, but actually it feels better on the thin side. So it could have been just my lack of familiarity with the product, because it feels better thin. It feels like that slickness is there. I don't feel quite as tentative as I was. So that is a plus. And so we always want to give things a fair chance, even though this is not a product based on its cost. And keep in mind, I bought soaps of this cost and beyond before. So I'm not, this is not a thing I'm poo-pooing, because I would never spend $65 on a soap, because I have several times, or actually more than several times. Way too many times, honestly. But I'm getting a better feeling now, but also most of the hair is gone too. So I don't know if the combination of the hair and maybe we just needed a little more hydration, but that lather before looked plenty hydrated. But I'm leaving. I'm not shaking out my razor so I can get more, see that water that's dripping off it. I'm doing that deliberately because I have been worried about this skipping on me, hitting a dry spot and skipping. And so I'm leaving more water in this. So typically what I would do is rinse and shake it quite a bit, and I'm shaking it less so there's more water actually laying in the razor. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that there's something there that's slick, which is why you're seeing all this water running down in my face. Normally I don't do that quite as much, but I'm leaving that on there to aid me in this particular shave because I'm not sold on the residual slickness. Now, you may lather this and you may knock it out of the park and it may be the greatest of all time. And this has gone way longer than I intended. It's now, at 18 minutes and I'm not finished. And it's because I've been farting around with this soap trying to get it to work the way I want it to. There is a bit of cooling to this, and I don't know if that's because of the mint or there's something else in it. The other thing that I would say this purple, Sē'bŭm purple smells like is sort of a toothpaste vibe, like your regular mint toothpaste, which again, it's not a bad scent, but it's not one that I would want on me. So an aftershave product like this, I'm not a big mint fan. Now I will say that now that I'm getting all this squared away, it's feeling better. I do want to mention one thing. I have a giveaway ongoing for the First Line Shave razor. Ooh, that was not slick there. I hit a dry spot. Wow, I need to rehydrate back there. Typically, I can get away with this. You see me get away with this all the time. And you see, look, there's water practically dripping into my eyes. And I'm still, this is just annoying is what it is, quite frankly. Just don't like it. Anyway, Razor Ruby Undead First Line Shave giveaway. I will link that video below. It will tell you how to enter. And if you put the First Line Shave in the lathering bowl, you're going to have some slickness throughout the shave and plenty of lather. And part of this could be on me, so just keep that in mind. But based on the way that I lather soaps and the way that I have lathered soaps going on now for many years and many videos, this is not a product that I personally, in terms of a shaving soap, would buy or recommend. Now, I would need to use it a lot more. I would need to use it on my face, but just based on one use, very limited use, I want to caveat that because I do want to be fair. It's just not, I have not been, if you take into consideration the price, the scent, I don't even know what's in it. I guess the whole selling point would be the post, which is not of interest to me. Again, my use case, this soap is not something that would interest me. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad soap for you. If you want a luxury product in terms of looking luxury and costing luxury, then this is for you. You can wear the ascot. You can pick this up and you're going to be happy. You're going to look, I spent $190. Got me some Sē'bŭm and that balm in my skin. Now, earlier I looked 50 and now I look 20. So if that does it for you, then go on. But for me, what's important is the shave. How is the platform? Is it allowing for slickness? And the first pass was atrocious with me being actually afraid this was going to skip. The second was better because now I'm leaving more water. See that? In my razor, it's running down my eyes. I got water all over my head. Skin feels good. Skin feels good, I will say that. So let me go ahead and rinse this all down and we'll come back and wrap this up. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest, but stay tuned. We'll wrap it up. And all right, we're back. We are spraying the magic made by witches. This is Thayer's cucumber, witch hazel, aloe, and I know this would not be probably recommended by the Sē'bŭm guy, but it's what works for me. And, you really have to consider your use case. This might be a product that works well if you want to look like a supermodel when you're 60. That's not that important to me. So if it's important to you, it might be well in your wheelhouse. It's completely out of my wheelhouse and in the ocean and under the ocean and probably deep in the Earth's crust somewhere. I just don't care for it. Keep in mind, one use, limited use. So I'm not telling you shouldn't purchase this soap. I don't tell you really you shouldn't purchase anything, or you should. I did not care for it. We used the AP Shave Co. Hulk, the purple, which was to match the Sē'bŭm. Excellent packaging. I got to give it to him on packaging. Elegant presentation on a performance level in terms of just making the type of lather that I have made thousands of times. No, it's a no for me. I did not enjoy it. I was actually wondering if I would continue during that first pass. It did get better with some adjustment to my technique, but if I need to adjust my technique to use a soap, I'm just not going to use it. Just that simple. We did manage to get a good shave though. Skin feels good. I'm going to finish off today with some Ariana and Evans Undersea because that's what I used this morning. Don't like the scent of this. It is sort of hanging around a little bit on my skin, so that might be a plus for you if you like the scent. I don't. I want to overcome that scent with this, which I think is a much better scent. I don't think there's any Sē'bŭm in my future. It is just not consistent with my use case nor what I want to spend. And so it's just not for me. Again, that doesn't mean it won't be for you. You can take this with a grain of salt. Limited use. I always want to be fair, but this is one of the more, in terms of a premium product, I don't think I've ever been as disappointed because my expectations were high. But I think what this might deliver is the post. And honestly, I'm not that interested in that because the products that I use already, my head's going to feel fantastic in an hour or two, regardless of what I use. So, take that into consideration. Thanks so much, Lather Me Whiskers and Ken. I really appreciate getting the opportunity to be disappointed. It's your fault. All right. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all who suffered through this one with me. I want to thank you. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. Remember, it's your shave, do it your way. And if you want to roll with the Sē'bŭm, roll with it. It's all about your enjoyment. Do whatever makes you happy. Until next time, God bless.